Hi everybody, this is Mrs. Clam, and today we'll be talking about complementary colors. Complementary colors are any two colors which are directly opposite each other on the color wheel, such as red and green, or red-violet and yellow-green. Below you can see an example of how yellow-green and red-violet have been used together as complements. They're directly across from each other on the color wheel. Here's an example of blue and orange. These are used quite a bit actually. They're pretty common. If you think about like the Boise State Broncos, their colors are orange and blue. Here you can see a painting done with blue and orange as well, but this time you'll see a couple hints of maybe green or some black, maybe a little bit of a red-orange in there. This is still a complementary color scheme. Even though you have colors in there every now and then that kind of want to throw off that color scheme, it's still very much a complementary color scheme. Don't forget also white and black don't count. They're not actually colors. They are neutrals. So they can be tints, tones, and shades to lighten up or to darken your colors, but they don't really count. So here you can see a complementary color scheme, once again using blue and orange. And here the exact same color scheme, just with a different painting and a different style, still blue and orange. You'll notice that with each of these colors, with both blue and orange, you have the tints, tones, and shades. For example, you have a lighter orange up here on the lemon, or you have a darker orange down here. Orange plus black, that would be a shade of orange, or with orange plus white, that would be a tint of the orange. Okay, same thing with the blues. Here we have a complementary color scheme using violet and yellow. And you can see on the picture over here with this color wheel, they kind of use kind of like a, I don't know, violet and a red violet or a blue violet. And you can see that same thing in these colors here, a little bit of blue violet. Some people look at this and say, but there's brown. Brown would throw it off. Or there's green, so it can't be a complementary color scheme. No, that's not how it works. This is still very much a complementary color scheme, even though it has a little hint of different colors here and there. Complementary colors, what we really use them for is to make each other stand out. If we want a color to just pop and have that zing to it, that's when we use complementary colors. You can see by looking at these squares with the circles on top that the colors behind those complementary colors really makes the circles stand out. You can really tell which ones are the complementary. Say, for example, on this first one, green and yellow are pretty close to each other on the color wheel here. This kind of yellow, green, and yellow, and they do not make each other stand out. But if you move over here, where you have the yellow and the violet, which are complementary directly across from each other on the color wheel, they really stand out. Same thing here with the green and red and the blue and orange. Being complementary colors really make each other stand out. Complementary colors are used a lot in holidays, in decorating, design, fashion, logos. You'll see it all over the place. Yellow and violet, which are complementary colors, a lot of times get used in Easter decorations. You can see here you've got the yellow and the purple, and a lot of times you have tints, tones, and shades of that. So maybe you have a light violet or a dark violet, or so on and so forth. And then Christmas. Everybody knows that Christmas colors are red and green. They stand out really well together because they're complementary colors. And then down at the very bottom, we see the Boise State Broncos using blue and orange. They are not the only sports team to be using complementary colors. If you think about the Vikings use yellow and violet as well. And there's lots of teams out there that use complementary colors to really make their uniforms stand out and pop and really sharp on the field. Some more examples of complementary color schemes. All right, one of the things you really have to watch out for when you're using complementary colors is that they can cause overstimulation. Kind of like on the other hand, where if you have a monochromatic color scheme, which is one color plus black and white, it can be understimulating. It's not very thrilling. Sometimes it can be kind of boring to look at. Complementary colors, on the other hand, have the opposite problem. If you don't use them right, they can cause overstimulation. Let me show you what I mean. This is what I mean. Complementary colors are not good for text. You wouldn't want to use complementary colors, say, for example, if you were making a sign or if you were creating a PowerPoint for a class. Complementary colors in text can cause some big problems for your eyes trying to focus, and you'll have what's called vibration. So trying to read this is really hard. I'll go ahead and go to the next slide so I don't give anybody any seizures. Here we go. So this is called vibration. When you use complementary colors right next to each other and the lines kind of start to blur and vibrate, and it's unpleasant. Creating contrast, on the other hand, is good. They do create contrast, but if used incorrectly, they can really mess with you. One of the things you can do to kind of tone down that color scheme is to take one of the colors and mute it. Add maybe a little white to it, or a little black to it, a little gray. You can even had a little bit of its own complement to it. Say, for example, if you have red and green, if you were to add just a little tiny bit of red to your green, it would kind of tone down and mute that green. All right, and there we go. I hope you learned a lot. I hope you enjoyed this presentation and that you will be able to use complementary colors in your artwork. Thanks for watching and have a good one.